Hi there! Today we will talk about why we get old, lose health and what can be done about it. Done naturally with long-lasting results, not the superficial cosmetic improvements that can't fool anybody, except those who want to be fooled. Today we will talk about how to stop, even reverse the aging process and remain young for many years. Not just look young, but live in a naturally young body. And not superficially again, but at the cellular level. One thing you should know so that you can run away. My name is Alexei. No, don't run away yet. There is more. Here, I'm not a doctor. Now you can run away. For those who are still with me, I'm carefully hiding my education in psychology because I feel ashamed to be associated with this genocide business. But I have enough knowledge for several doctors and more results than many of them do. Dozens of cured cancer and diabetes cases, not to mention countless addiction liberations and many naturally rejuvenated people, including myself. I'm 55, I look 40, I feel 25, particularly at night. You know what I mean. For many years I was a relationship consultant, having helped hundreds of people and couples. As an adept of natural lifestyle, I know that each of us is an interconnected system where everything is related to everything else, not only on the physical level, but more importantly at the level of thoughts and energies. So when fixing relationship problems, I would also help my clients naturally lose weight, cleanse the body, reverse the aging process and remain young. As opposite to painting the face on your face or pumping your body with silicone. Such perversions are not only useless, they are harmful. Most of what gets in touch with your body, whether within or on the outside, makes you age faster and less healthy. Even those substances that claim to be natural, organic or ecological. Very few drugs and products are truly natural, only those that are fresh and are not processed. Here's why. If you are even a little on the subject of healthy life, you know what is prana, ki or chi, the primordial life energy that fills up every living creature. Let's say you are using some plant, aloe vera for example. It has many uses, in particular skin treatment. Every wound treated with aloe heals up within few days. But it's not the chemical composition of the plant that cures your skin. It is its life energy, this very prana, that exerts its healing properties on you. At the subtle level, the vital energy of the plant resonates with the energies of your body, and the resulting amplified vibrations are what really cures you. Once a living creature dies, it starts to decompose into layers that it was made of. Dust goes to dust, water to water, and every energy goes back to the warehouse of this corresponding energy in the universe. There, it is being dissolved and used to further animate new living creatures. The nature recycles everything to the last molecule. So, once you cut off a plant leaf, it immediately starts to die. You can use it only for a few hours while it retains some of its energies. Before returning to their appropriate warehouses, the plant energies can do some work on your body. Because of this, only fresh, frozen and dried plants are useful. Everything else is just fiber, construction blocks. And even then, only if this fiber is organic. Otherwise, this is nothing more than empty junk that either gets eliminated or is being stored in your body as fat. Freshly cut plants retain most of their vital energy for 2-3 hours at most. Frozen and dried keep some of it for up to several months, depending on the freezing or drying process and on storage conditions. So all this fancy crap sold in pharmacies has very little beneficial value, if any. Even dried herbs without any additives, after several months in a jar, lose most of its vital energy. Because again, this life energy is bound to life itself. Once there is no life in the body of the plant, the energy leaves it. No pun intended. Slipped out as always. Imagine yourself being placed in a jar and sealed. What will happen to you? You will die, of course. and all your energies will disperse to their appropriate levels in the universe. From there, they will continue to enter other bodies and animate them. Same happens to herbs that are sealed in fancy jars and sold to you as a natural cure. Another thing that the doctors and pharma companies don't tell you is that artificial and non-organic substances don't work. Their chemical composition can be very similar to the real, life equivalent. Even the molecules can be same, but the information in them is missing. Because, I'm going to use an abstruse term, spin electron. This is what stores the information about the substance. Physics know it. For the normal people, I will explain in simple words. Electrons spin around atoms just like planets revolve around the sun. In the molecules of life substances, say freshly squeezed lemon juice, electrons spin counterclockwise. In the artificial and non-organic, such as ascorbic acid pills, they spin clockwise. As a result, the taste may be similar, but your DNA simply doesn't see the molecules of the artificial lemon juice. For your DNA, it's just garbage that flies around. So such ascorbic acid pills have zero useful effect on you, only taste, and yellowish urine, and faster decay of your teeth, and perhaps other side effects, depending on how and from what they were made. Every artificial substance has this flaw. At best it's useless, but more often it's harmful. Either toxic or fills up the space between cells, adding up fat to your body, which is one of the main reasons humanity gained so much extra weight during the last several decades. Hope they won't be our last. But we will be talking about it another time. This video is an introduction to the real health. What's really going on at the core level of your body, in simple terms that you will understand without specialized medical education. So-called traditional doctors will hate me for breaking their tradition of keeping everything obscure, concealed under fancy terms, which makes them look more important and knowledgeable than they are. But I'm not a doctor. My goal is not to impress you with my knowledge and to profit from your poor health. My goal is to make you realize why you are not as healthy as you could be and what you can do about it. Yet I'm not stealing the doctor's bread with butter and caviar, because some 95% of mankind, including womankind, want to be treated. The rest of us want to remain healthy. Try to see the difference. If you are in this lucky minority, stick around. Otherwise, never listen to me again. You will find many reasons anyway to devalue and dismiss what I say. Back to natural health and natural ways of being, not only looking young. You are always getting the best results from the remedy that's needed by your body in this particular situation at this particular time. This is what resonance is all about. A huge amplification of coinciding vibrations. And this is why I'm not giving any generic recipes, not because I avoid sharing some knowledge for free. A lot of what I do is free, but because in the real medical science, every person is unique and requires personalized approach. For a generic solution, one that will only remove symptoms, you better go to the traditional medical business. So we just established that only fresh cures can be effective in treating anything. Life perpetuates life, while dead and artificial substances only pretend to help you. Now let's get to aging and see why it happens. To a large extent, because of dehydration and malfunction of cells in your body. For most people today, this is a pure disaster, but nobody gives. Stay with me if you do. If you give about your health, looks, longevity and other aspects of normal, happy life. Because you cannot truly enjoy life if you are not healthy. If you know that you are made of cells, it's only reasonable to agree that your well-being, health and looks depends on the condition of your cells. Why old people often look like dried apricots? Because they got dehydrated at the cellular level, and it shows on their organs, including the largest one, skin. Most people don't drink enough water. They drink all kinds of liquids, more or less harmful, but your cells need clean water every day, at least 30 milliliters per kilogram of your weight, or for those who think in imperial terms, an ounce per 2 pounds of you. Apart from being clean, this water has to have other properties. The most important among them is pH balance. This is the ratio of alkaline and acidic environments in your body. The more alkaline it is, the slower the aging process goes. Simple as that. It is also the century-old, scientifically and clinically proven cure for cancer, by the way. The pH is measured in units from 1 to 14, where 1 is acid and 14 alkali. 1 to 7 is acidic environment, 7 is neutral, and 7 to 14 is alkaline. Our blood, lymph, saliva, and so on has pH between 7.4 7.5. We can call this tiny range the life zone. As soon as your internal environment pH lowers, you start getting sick. Apart from physical traumas, nearly all diseases are the results of your body internal environment acidity or lack of clean water, which is basically the same. Our food today is super acidic, apart from being mainly artificial and toxic, often even poisonous, because the food industry is focused on making money, not keeping you well and healthy. Let's take bread. It's not what our ancestors ate for millennia. Real bread is made of whole grains, water, oil, maybe some spices. Today, the so-called bread is made of 27 ingredients, half of which is dead, the other half is toxic. But it's still called bread, to make us buy it. Let's talk numbers. If the pH balance of your body environments shifts from 7.4 to 7, the cells in your body start to die very fast. If the water pH in an aquarium goes to 6, all fish die. At 4, crabs die and all other crustaceans. When pH falls to 3, everything dies, literally everything, including all parasites, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and yeast. So if 7.4 is the life zone, 3 is a dead zone. And now to the fun part. Get ready to freak out. The ordinary white flour enriched bread has pH of about 2.5. White sugar around 3. Carbon dioxide makes pH of every soft drink 2 or less. It's added there to kill everything, so that the soft drink remains its shelf life for years. And your favorite soft drink, be it Sprite, Coke, Red Bull or such, full of carbon dioxide, sugars and other toxic substances, has pH of around 2. To restore the pH balance of your body environment to the level you had before drinking one glass of such drink, you have to gulp about 32 glasses of clean, slightly alkaline water. Obviously, you won't be doing it. Okay, we've covered water, the most abundant yet the most underestimated substance on this planet and in your body. Hope you will pay more attention now to what you swallow every day. Your body has a huge potential to recover and survive, not like cats, but still. Your body has huge reserves of spare resources. You're still alive only because it has an enormous survivability potential. For example, at birth you had 10 times the immunity you need for the whole average human lifetime. So when it depletes, there is still enough left for you to live on for decades. Your body is capable to recover itself from the worst conditions you expose it to, especially if you give it a chance. Even for a few days, stop stuffing yourself with poisons. This is why, by the way, every religion and ancient tradition has such thing as fasting. That's exactly it, a way to periodically clean up your body. Our ancestors knew, when you are eating, your cells don't. Only when you stop eating, your body starts to feed and detoxify its cells. While you are chewing, your cells are patiently waiting for you to stop the chewing process. Only then they start to absorb nutrients and eliminate toxins. Just like servants at the master's table, they don't get to eat until their master is done with his dinner. Most people hardly drink pure water ever. They think of it as too boring. We drink tea, super acidic coffee, sodas, Coke, juices that are dead and full of sugars, as well as other liquids that your body doesn't recognize and cannot absorb as is. Your body has to spend a lot of resources, time and energy to convert soft drinks into whatever pure water it can extract from them. Then you wonder why you're chronically tired. And so you keep drinking coffee and other boosters to wake up and to feel some energy, thus perpetuating this vicious circle. To top it off, there is a rule of nature that states, what doesn't work degenerates. When you constantly drink coffee or other energy boosters, your innate power plant, kidneys, stop producing energy and eventually they atrophy. Same with your eyes. Once you start wearing glasses, your eye muscles begin to degrade and so does your vision. And you keep paying the glasses business for the rest of your life. When I first learned it, I decided to test it on myself. I do it with every new knowledge that I consider to be important. At the time, I was drinking 3-4 cups of coffee every day. I quit it completely, remained only with clean, boring water, not even tea for the sake of experiment. During a week or so, I was feeling like shit, always sleepy, tired, irritated. But then I started to feel more energetic and light. Even had an impression that if I push the earth hard enough, I will fly. Tried a few times, but no, didn't fly. I also got a noticeably more clarity in my mind and about 2 hours less of sleep nightly. Since then, many years passed, my life and diet changed dramatically. Those who knew me back then wouldn't recognize me now. Perhaps they would recognize me on the outside only. Today I look better and younger than 20 years ago. Once in a while I allow myself a small cup of coffee for fun and not to fall into fanaticism. I don't like extremes. Now back to cells you are made of. They can't use water that doesn't have necessary properties. All cells are encapsulated in membranes, but these membranes have no water pumps to move water in and out of them. So the water exchange is being carried out by osmosis, penetration of water ions through membrane with electromagnetic potential. And in order to be moved by the electromagnetic force, water needs to be charged. For this, it has to have certain minerals and the ability to conduct electricity. But again, the most important water property is its pH balance. If it's less than 7.4, your cells cannot efficiently process water and nutrients. Then your cells are starving, dehydrating and aging. Simple as that. If it's going on for years, you're aging faster and it shows. Also simple, right? Alkalinity of your body environment also directly affects your level of energy, mood and overall health. For example, bacteria, fungi, viruses, parasites, even cancer cells do not survive in alkaline environment. And every mainstream doctor knows it. But our traditional medicine is a business. Its goal is money, not your health. So they won't tell you. And they will jump on me for saying this. During the last century, since it was discovered, countless millions of people died of cancer and keep dying every day, while doctors are keep counting their money. They choose to let you die rather than help you. Because really helping you means losing their high income. Cancer is a multi-billion-dollar worldwide ongoing business. Despite such weekly announcements like a scientist found the cure for cancer, they keep searching for it and will keep searching for it forever because they are paid for it. At his car factories, Henry Ford had very little downtime due to equipment breakdown. Because the factory maintenance crew got paid only when everything worked well. As soon as something broke down, their pay would stop until it was fixed. So they would literally run to the site like firemen to fix it as quickly as possible and to start being paid again. If our doctors were paid only for fully recovered patients that remain healthy afterwards, we wouldn't have the worldwide pandemic of poor health and obesity. Sorry, I digress. It really pisses me off that doctors are not only get paid for watching people die, they are also revered as decent people having a respected occupation. Let's conclude. pH balance is a major aspect of your health and longevity, and you can take care of it right now. For this, you will have to change or at least adjust your nutrition habits. Yes, this is hard, much harder than quitting drinking or smoking. I went through all of it, so I know this is hard but possible, especially with the right guidance of someone who's been there, knows how it should be done, and is living by this knowledge. Someone like me. I will elaborate on the subject in the next video. There I will show you how your body depends on other factors, in particular on the food you eat. Feel free, since it's indeed free, to subscribe to this channel. It's new and I appreciate every new follower. I will never have millions subscribers, but I'm okay with it. I value quality over quantity. I want to communicate only with intelligent, reasonable people who want to be healthy and free of the mainstream dogmas. And there are not many of us. Once I get the first 100 subscribers, I will start doing weekly webinars where you can get answers to your questions and solutions to your problems. You are welcome.